Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffe Kennedy, author of fantasy romance and romantic fantasy. I'm here with my first cup of coffee. Delicious coffee, elixir of life. How the hell are you guys? Today is Thursday, May 12th. It's fairly warm, coolish warm here in Santa Fe, and overcast this morning. And it's not windy. So I'm out here in the Great Barber for once in a straight on shot because I don't have the rising sun in my face. It was really nice to wake up to a little bit of moisture in the air and the little bit of cloudiness, stillness. It's supposed to be windy today, but maybe after this it's going to back off. Although I see mid next week is looking windy again. I'm going to move my plants outside this weekend. I know that this is something, if you have listened to this podcast for a long time, the moving my plants outside is always an event. It's a deal, you guys. And I've left it long this year because I didn't want them to get battered by the wind. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. There's one that I hesitate to move out to the front porch. We have this monkey tree that's really great. And it'll get torn up by the wind. But then the leaves grow back. So I don't know. I shouldn't obsess. So, things. Something rustling nearby. What could it be? A mouse? There are a lot of rodents again this year. Yeah, so I made good progress on the book yesterday. I'm still not done with this revision. It's still going slowly, but on Tuesday I made it through 47 pages, and yesterday I made it through 41, so that's going considerably faster than I was. I've also been adding a lot of words. I've added, well, so far for this revision, I've cut almost 2,000 words, and I've added, I was trying to figure out what the actual add was. Well, I've gone up a net of nearly 4,000. 42 pages to go. So theoretically, I should finish the revision today. I did not mean to hit that. Excuse me. We do not need to open a Zoom conference. So I've got writer coffee today, but otherwise I hope to get through that revision and add those remaining words. At least with this revision, something happened that I was hoping would happen, in that my overall word count revised down. It's not going to be 102,000. It's going to be like 98,000, which, I realize that it may sound immaterial if it's like 95,000, 98,000, 102,000. But it's a difference of a couple of days of how long it takes me to write it. So I think 98,000 is probably going to be spot on. Glad for all of you who are excited about the 4 epilogues. I'm excited about the 4 epilogues. And then we shall get this one out there. So, speaking of getting books out there, I had kind of an exciting / daunting event yesterday. Congratulations are in order because I got the rights reverted to all 10 of my Carina Press books. 10 books, people. It feels like the end of an era. Carina Press was the first to publish me. Well, almost. Lucid and Alora's Cave each published one smallish thing for me. I did Petals and Thorns with Lucid, and then the the vampire books, my vampire books in with Alora's Cave, and I ended up doing feeding the vampire with Alora's Cave because they wanted petals and thorns, and there was communication problem, and Lucid had already taken it. But those were all smallish books, more smallish presses, whereas we had such high hopes for Carina back in the day because it was um, Harlequin's digital imprint. We thought we were going to get like the whole Harlequin marketing machine behind it. Some things manifested, other things didn't. Um, Carina was, I loved working with Carina. I really did. And I still love the people at Carina. I learned a lot there. They were great. They were great to me. Angela James, started out running Carina Press, came over from Sam Hain Books, which they did pronounce Sam Hain. I asked the owner once. Uh, there's just a lot of history there. It was a really heady time. It was around the around 2008, 2009, and it's just funny to look back on. Yeah, so 10 books I did with Carina will be mine now. I know I will make more money on them selling them myself, so that's great. However, this is uh, leading to a bit of angst. It's like I have to do covers for 10 fucking books, people. I'm tempted, maybe I'll package some of them. I don't know. I need to like figure out the smart way to do this. Some of them are smaller contemporary BDSM novellas. In fact, 7 of the 10 are contemporary BDSM, and which is like not full on my brand right now. So I have to figure out how I want to do this. It requires thinking and planning and marketing savvy, and I'm not feeling really equal to the task at the moment. And then the 3 that are fantasy romance, my Covenant of Thorns trilogy, I'm going to have to make up my mind about that because do I fix them? I'm tempted to fix them. At least the first one. I know I'm almost inarticulate about this because I go back and forth, right? It's like, because Rogue's Pawn, the first book in Covenant of Thorns, was the first novel I ever wrote. And I revised it multiple times, and I can see the ways now that it is flawed. Some people love it. I don't get many people loving it the way that I used to. But that could be because of Carina. And I know that I can recover, rebrand, remarket. Uh, it's so funny because like the bargain with the Fey King kind of thing is such a big deal in Kindle Unlimited right now in fantasy romance. That's what these books are. They're about a scientist who ends up in fairy and makes a bargain with this uh, Fey rogue. And as usual, this is sort of my blessing and my curse. I was kind of ahead of my time on this stuff, but also my fairy, my land of fairy, my fae are all more alien and weird than what many people are writing these days. And I think I mentioned this on here before, but I saw someone tweeting about reading it, and they didn't tag me. I don't remember why I picked it up. I think maybe it came up under because I was search for my name, and somebody said they were picking them up and we're all excited. And then she didn't enjoy it. She said that she felt like she'd gotten whiplash between uh, the whimsy and the darkness. And I don't know, maybe that's my brand. I feel like this is the spot I live in, but I'm wondering if I should go through and smooth it out. Also, there is this section of the book that's very, very dark. that is stuff that I did not want to write. I wanted it to be there only in flashback. And my editor really pushed me. Like 3 times I ended up like she kept writing more and more and more. And so I ended up writing this whole scene. And I know that that's something that people really react to very strongly because it is ugly. It's meant to be ugly, but I never meant it to be on page. So I'm really tempted to go in and take that out. Um, Frankly, I'm, like on the other end of the spectrum, I'm tempted to go through and rip the whole thing apart and redo it, which, no, I know I can't do that. I won't do that. And so then the other extreme is not to touch them at all and just take the files, put them up, have done. But I still have to pay for covers for 10 books. 4 of the books are novellas that are my Facets of Passion series. And those are Sapphire, Platinum, Ruby, and 5 Golden Rings. And 5 Golden Rings was supposed to be called Oro, but Angie James thought that no one would get Oro, which means gold. And it takes place in Mexico. And it was in a holiday anthology. So, what do you think? Do I keep the name the same? Do I change it? I'm tempted to put it back. So many things, so many decisions, you guys. I know that this is a champagne problem. I know this is a good problem to have. I bitched in one place on a forum, and I think, and really, I only got hearts, which I think was like good problems to have, Jeffy. I have 10 books that I can release. Yeah. So then the other 3, I guess I didn't say the other 3 are my falling under books, which are full length contemporary BDSM novels. And so one way to approach this is to put up the ones that have sold the best, right? And it's definitely those books. Those books, I'm actually surprised they reverted the rights to me on those books because they they still continue to sell pretty well. But I mean, I might just try to set up a deal where I have like a release every 30 days on Amazon, right? Just keep the momentum going along with my other books I'm releasing. I do have a reserved spot with my cover artist, Raven, for the rest of the year. And probably we'll just keep doing it that way. I can always cancel. But I can get her going on these covers. And they're not horribly expensive. They're not what other people pay, like for other stuff. But it's still a financial investment, right? Oh, Gray Magic is live. Okay, so now all 3 Bonds of Magic books are live in audiobook. I just got the message last night, so I need to get those going. For some reason, ACX put the second book in erotica, and I don't know why. And I asked them to change it once, and they haven't done it. I feel like it should be in the same categories as book 1. So I'm going to have to deal with that. More businessy things, right? Business. So that's good news. It's like that, but it really is good news. But it did make me think, and I even made this note the other day and then forgot to. Oh no, I think I made it later in the day on Tuesday. But one thing about earning your living as an author, which we talk about that it's the dream. And I did think that this was funny. A few weeks ago on the SFF7, where I blog, one of the other writers said that, because we said, are you a full-time writer? Is it your dream? If you are, like, how do you do the finances and so forth? And one of the writers said that they are absolutely a full-time writer, that they've always been a full-time writer. And just because they have a day job doesn't mean that they're not a full-time writer. and it's like, okay, but you're kind of mincing words here. This isn't what we're talking about. When we say full-time writer, it does mean a few different things, right? And people want to be able to claim it because it's like some kind of badge of honor, which I don't think it should be, because being a full-time writer, I think, means that you don't have another job, that you don't have any kind of day job, or most of us have like side gigs of teaching or other things, but not salaried, not consistent income. um, that's what I think it means. But just because you're a full-time writer does not mean that you are supporting yourself with your writing. And that's really the dream, right? That's what we want, is like this, to have the career where you support yourself as a writer. A lot of writers are subsidized by a salaried benefited spouse, which is no shame. I mean, that's great. Uh, and I wish I had that. Because it would be it's just a lot more security. It's much easier, because the thing about it is that, yes, this is the dream, that you don't have another job, that you get to write full time. But the thing is it is a fair amount of pressure, that just like I'm feeling with finishing this book, where like I really want to get it so that I get that money from Amazon, you know 30 days earlier, right? If I get this book out by the end of May, then I'll get that money by the end of July, and I'm looking ahead to my finances later in the year, and it's like I need to have a certain amount of money coming in every month so that I can keep us afloat. And it's one of those things where I think a lot of us think that earning being a full-time writer, supporting ourselves as a writer, means that we've made it, that we've gotten there. And as I've talked about many times, making it is an illusion, right? There is no made it. Unless you really hit the jackpot as a writer, where you make a whole slew of money, enough so that you never have to worry about it again, then you're always hustling. You're always looking towards that new book, to releasing those new books. Just like I'm talking about with my reverted rights books, getting that, packaging them and getting them ready to go. So it's just something to consider, because I think a lot of us think, if you, and I certainly did for a very long time, like I had my number in my mind when I still had my full time career type job. I thought, well, once I make enough money from my books to be equivalent to, and I had two milestones, right, for my salary, what I was making as an environmental consultant, which was admittedly a high bar. They paid me well, which was wonderful of them. And then if I figured in like the value of my benefits, and I thought, well, like if I could get into that area, then I'll be fine, right? Because I'll be bringing in enough money from the books to be equivalent to my salary. But the thing is even though you're bringing enough money from the books at one time, doesn't mean that you will continue to do so, because it waxes and wanes and things go in and out of fashion. That's another thing with my Covenant of Thorns books, is I admit to a fair amount of insecurity about whether these books are really good enough, and whether people will like them, or if I should retire them. Of course, that's the eternal insecurity of the author, right? So, um, yeah, that's where I'm at. I really feel like I need to hire someone to do promo for me, to be a publicist, and maybe I need to circle back to that, because the one person I tried to contact, they never got back to me. Oh well. So yeah, I'm gonna go get this podcast up, and then go out and have we'd still call it writer coffee, although one of the guys wants to call it writer brunch, because we do sit there for a couple of hours and eat. So I'm going to a new to me place in Santa Fe. Not new to Santa Fe, because it's been here since the mid 70s, apparently. And I don't think I've ever been there. One of the other guys suggested, and I was like, never been there. Looking forward to it. So I'm going to do that. And I hope you all have a wonderful Thursday. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.